there, welcome back to the channel. I've got something pretty cool to show you today. I am using a fork of OpenPilot called Sunnypilot. And one of the cool features on Sunnypilot is something called MADS. Now MADS stands for Manual Assistive Driving Service, I believe, and if I've got that acronym wrong, I'll post the correct acronym down at the bottom of the screen now. But what's cool about MADS is that it disconnects the auto steering portion of OpenPilot from the throttle control, which is provided by the Rivian's dynamic cruise control. Now, what makes this handy is that there are situations where the Rivian's dynamic cruise control isn't the optimum solution for the situation. For example, if you're driving on local roads with stop-and-go traffic, the dynamic cruise control really wasn't designed for that situation. So the stopping, the acceleration can be kind of herky-jerky. And if you've ever used the cruise control in that situation, you probably know what I mean. What MADS lets you do in those situations is if you want to take over control of the throttle, but leave steering up to OpenPilot to take that load off your back, you can do that. And it's really easy to use too. So if you're using Sunnypilot, activating OpenPilot is exactly the same as on the standard branch of OpenPilot. Simply press down on the driver stalk and you've activated OpenPilot. So right now OpenPilot is controlling steering. The Rivian's dynamic cruise control is controlling the throttle. However, if for whatever reason I wanted to take over throttle control, all I have to do is press up on the driver stalk, and now the dynamic cruise control on the Rivian has been disengaged. OpenPilot is still in control of the steering, so I am manually controlling throttle with one pedal driving right now, and as you can see, I'm in hands-free mode. Now the nice thing about this is that it pairs really nicely with one pedal driving. The main reason being that if you tap on the brake, it disengages everything, so it turns off OpenPilot. Obviously, if you have the Rivian's cruise control engaged, it'll also disengage that. But with one pedal driving, really you hardly ever have to tap on the brake. You have really fine control over your acceleration and your deceleration. So it's a perfect solution for local roads and stop-and-go traffic. Another nice thing is that since OpenPilot does use cooperative steering, even though I have manual control of the throttle and OpenPilot is controlling steering, I can take over steering whenever I want, for example, to change lanes, and it's not going to disengage the system. As soon as I'm done making my maneuver, I can let go of the steering and OpenPilot takes over steering. By the same token, if I also wanted to re-engage dynamic cruise control, I can do that as well by tapping down on the stalk again. And cruise control is active again. So now I'm back in basically what you would consider stock OpenPilot operation. Very easy to use. I actually I find I'm using MADS more often than I'm using standard OpenPilot, mostly because, you know, I'm mostly on local roads. And in terms of stop and go traffic, the ride comfort that the dynamic cruise control the Rivian provides is just not ideal. So if you've used Sunnypilot or OpenPilot in your Gen 1 Rivian, let me know down in the comments below what you think. If you found this video helpful at all, please like and subscribe. I'll be posting more Rivian and OpenPilot content in the future. And as always, enjoy the drive.